Imeandika kalamu nzuri. Iko live. Good afternoon, my student, my chemistry student. Good afternoon, wherever you are. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are feeling you are doing well, kabisa. Sorry for the short delay that we have had, here and there. The State House, kuna deal kidogo nilikuwa nimeenda kupanga huko na deputy president together with the president. So don't worry, I'm just late for 10 minutes. Can you hear me right now? Riri, Juliet, and who else was there? And Emmy. Are we on? Can you hear me? First of all, remember, as I've said, thank you for waiting for 10 minutes. I'm 15 minutes more. Can you hear me now? Don't forget to invite others who don't know that the lesson has just started. I believe you can hear me. So today, I would like to talk about the periodic table and anything that comes from the periodic table. Are you ready? We start the lesson. Kuna watu, kumbuka, our main challenge that I always challenge you is that there is what we call consistency. So when you join a lesson, stay in that lesson until the end of the lesson, until I give the last blessings, until I give the last assignment, and I say now, this is the end of the lesson. Now, let me talk about the periodic table, because that's what I want to explain right now in the next few minutes. Then from there, we do something else. Thank you, Riri, for confirming that I'm audible. Now, my point is, periodic table is like a house. It's like a office. Now, you all know the staff room of your teachers. When you get to the staff room this way, you know where Sir Alex sits, you know where Mr. So-and-so sits, you know where who sits. I mean, even if a teacher says, bring your documents, or bring your exercise books for marking, or bring your exams for marking, bring and place them on my desk, you will always know that if I go this way, if I want the desk of Sir Alex, then I'm going to that particular desk. That is his position in the staff room. Now, even the elements that we have, remember I told you we have over 160 known elements. The others that we don't know, we have not counted them because we don't know. We cannot count something that we don't have. Now, the elements we know, this periodic table that looks or that is acting as the house for the elements, you must know that where each element is placed. Iko pale, ingine iko pale. If I now show you the periodic table, you must be knowing hydrogen iko hapa. Kama ni sodium inafaa ikuenga hapa. Nyumba ya potassium ni hapa. I mean, they have been placed in various positions in that what we call the periodic table. What am I saying here right now? I'm saying this. We all know how a periodic table looks like. I'm just going to draw the ones for the first 20 elements. Then from there, we try to place them. We try to place, elements, the first 20. The rest have a periodic table. I always tell my students, bring a periodic table and put it at the cover of your exercise book. So that when you are free, you just look at it. You just check on how the elements have been arranged, placed, from the beginning to the end. Now, if we have to sketch, I'm just sketching the periodic table, then we try to place. I will have it this way. That is the first one. Then you must be knowing now the element inapatikana hapa. Then niipeleke hivi. Ikishafika pale, niipitishe moja juu. There must be one that comes at the top there. So huku chini itaendelea as far as it can go. Niweke silent. Yeah, so ikiwa hivyo, I can still create another one. That way, I can create as many as I want. But for now, waje kwanza tukae na mbili hivyo, I will explain. But now, tukienda across hivi, we are supposed to create how many? Downwards, this way we call them groups. Across this way we call them periods. So I'm supposed to come up with 8 periods. In one. So hapa katikati inafaa ni create 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 1. I've created 1. I've created another one. I've created another one. So we have 1, 2, 3. I create another one this way. Then when I split here, those are 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You remember yesterday when I said that electronic configuration, for example, in a sense like 2, 8, 8. So it must be 8. Now, going downwards this way, we have the groups. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, Group 4, Group 5, Group 6, Group 7, Group 8. That is the group. Now, I want us to place elements. This one, I want to write hydrogen. The symbol for hydrogen is H, not H2. H2 is the symbol for hydrogen molecule. Are you together? Then we have helium. Helium here. And when writing these elements, you must be giving their mass numbers and the atomic numbers. This one iko na mass number ya 2, iko na 2. Hydrogen iko na, kwanza hydrogen iko na 1, 1. Now, ndaka tumazana na group 1. This is group 1. Before niendelee kuandika kwanza, confirm that you can see what I'm writing. Riri, you are saying you have a question. Which question, Riri? Confirm for me, but that you can see what I'm writing on the screen. While Riri is typing the question she is talking about. Now, let me proceed as you are confirming whether you can see it. So, ndaka tumazana na group 1. So, we have hydrogen there. So, and many other elements that comes down here. So, we have lithium. Lithium inaandikwa hivyo. Ukitaka kuandika in full, hiyo ni yako, lakini mbona uandike in full? Then this is 3, then 2. Nikiandika 3, 2 unaelewa kabisa. Hii ya juu ni mass number, hii ya chini ni atomic number. Then we have sodium. Sodium is Na. And this sodium is hapa ndaandika 11, hapa niandike no, this is 23, then 11. 23, 11. Na hapa, sorry, this is 3 pia. The other thing again, beryllium. So now, okay, so sorry, hapa chini ni potassium. What is the mass number of potassium? What is the mass number of potassium? Potassium has 39. Taandika hapa 39 na uandika hapa 19. That is the atomic number. So that is group 1. Hydrogen, lithium, sodium, and potassium. Na zingine mingi. I'm just now considering the first 20 elements alone. Itaishia hapa. Hapa ni calcium. Calcium iko na 40 na iko na 20. So ndafuta hizi. So now that is a periodic table only taking care of the first 20 elements. The screen is clear. Yes, thank you. Radio announcer, when are you going to teach neutrons in an atom? Neutrons, it's not really necessary for me to teach neutrons, but if you want, I will shed light about neutrons at the end of the lesson. But normally we don't talk about neutrons so much in chemistry because they do not participate. And the other part that we are going to talk about neutrons so well is in Form 4, a topic called radioactivity in physics now. Okay, though it is also there in chemistry, it is called the atomic physics. So you usijali for now to focus na hii. Are we together, Pauline? Na Pauline umepotelea wapi? I have not seen you for the last 3 days. Now, here is beryllium. Are we together? We are fixing boron. Sawa. What next? Carbon. Sawa. Oxygen. Naandika symbol ya oxygen atom, not oxygen molecule. Then beryllium, boron, carbon. Sorry, hapa sasa, that is now what we call the neon. That is the neon. Then here we have magnesium. Sasa kwa hii imejipanga 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So magnesium, then we have aluminium. Are we together? Aluminium. We have silicon. We have phosphorus. Tunaenda hivi. Then after phosphorus, we have sulfur. We have chlorine. And then we have lastly the argon, Ar. Those are the first 20 elements. Nimefika mahali nikaacha kuandika the atomic numbers and the mass numbers, but for now this is how it should be. So the groups zimejipanga hivi. These are the groups. Ukiambiwa identify group 7, you must come and identify group 7 from here. If you are told to give the name used or to mention group 7, you are supposed to give its name. So this one, group 1 is called alkali metals. The family name is called alkali metal. Number metals, halogens. Halogens, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, iso halogens. By the way, in your book, the word halo means salt. Then this group, we call them noble gases. Noble gases. Noble families, noble idea. What's the meaning of the word noble? Something very important. Something in kutuna mastare. This group, they do not gain, they do not lose electrons. They are known as noble gases. Are you together? Now, have a periodic table on your own. Mimi nimekupea tu sample. Hii group 3 inaweza teremka chini mpaka wapi huku. Mention all the elements. In certain exams, we may always be focusing on the first 20 elements, kidogo hapa na pale, but for general knowledge, understand the whole periodic table. Are you together? If you ask some questions which may not be directly from the book, so you need to have gone through it. What we shall be studying next week, kuna vitu tutakuwa tukidiscuss next week about family. Sasa nimekuambia tu the family name is alkali, alkaline earth metals, halogens, then noble gases. So next week we shall be dealing with alkali vizuri. Twende alkaline earth metals vizuri. Twende halogens vizuri, noble gases vizuri. But for now, that is how a periodic table looks like. I have 3. Group 2 inaitwa alkaline earth metals. This is alkali metals. This is an alkaline earth metals. Are you together? Someone is asking what about physics. From next week, I will be live streaming twice for physics and for chemistry. That's from next week. But for this week, allow me to only operate on chemistry. So that next week I will be operating physics asubuhi, chemistry jioni. Ama mnaona aje? Ama chemistry asubuhi, physics jioni. Hebu nisikie, we are very many in the group. We are almost 15 watching. So let me ask this. I'm trying to find which one can we do it in the morning, which one can we do it in the evening. Yes, tufanya kani asubuhi, tufanya kani jioni. Hiyo ndio nataka tu nijue. Whatever you will write over there, we shall work with that one. Now, release our school that they can test data. Yes, it can be tested, but the mostly ones that we are focusing on are these ones. The others can be tested during the normal exams in the schools to make sure that we umerify kila mahali. You know, if you want a student to read, mostly where you have tested, that's where they're going to focus on. So mostly make sure umeshika hivi vizuri. Then from there now, let's go to theaters. I'm taking your data. So after this, I will check watu wa chemistry asubuhi ni wangapi, watu wa chemistry jioni ni wangapi. Then from there, I will make a conclusion and I would request that we work with what will be the outcome of the conclusion. Thank you. Now, I have 3 questions. 1, hydrogen is a group 1 member and also a group 7 member. How is that possible? When you request for group 7 members to line up, hydrogen will be part of them. When you request for group 1, hydrogen will also tell you, I'm part of group 1. Sawa? Now, apart from, now my second question. So you are planning to explain to me why or how is it possible that hydrogen is found in 2 groups, group 1 and group 7. Tell me another member that is found in 2 groups. That's my second question. Give me another element that is found in 2 groups. Yes, giving reason to each one of them. Number 3, I will ask, then answer immediately. Some of them here are metals, some of them are non-metals. The gases, most of the gases are colorless. But this one, now that is the question I wanted to ask, but let me explain. Halogen gases are referred to as colored gases. Colored gases. The colored gases, they're colored. Like fluorine and chlorine are yellow. Iodine fumes are brown. Are we together? Higher. No one is telling me why hydrogen is found in 2 groups. I will go ahead and explain why hydrogen is found in 2 groups. Heidi IA, you've lost. Umepotea sana. Umekuanga. But we have one challenge in our class. We are saying this. I'm not saying it's a problem. I mean, we challenge ourselves this way. When you train a lesson, be consistent up to the end so that you can get the results. Now, hydrogen, what is the atomic number of hydrogen? Let me write here, I hope you can see. What is the atomic number of hydrogen? It's 1. So hydrogen, can it gain or lose? Hydrogen can gain 1 to make 2, which is complete, or it can lose 1. It can gain 1 like group 7 elements. That's why it is regarded as a group 7. It can lose 1 like group 1. So hydrogen can be found in those 2 groups. It can lose 1, it can gain 1. Are you together? It can lose 1, it can gain 1. Like the 2 here. Are you together? But kitu ingine nataka ushike vizuri. If you are told to state the members of alkali metals, do not include hydrogen. Unajua sasa hapo wamesema alkali metals, don't include hydrogen. Is hydrogen a metal? No. So alkali metals anzia kwa lithium, sodium, potassium ukiteremka chini zile zingine. Lakini if they ask you group 1, you can include hydrogen. Are you getting me? Lakini no one wants to answer me. What is the other element that can be found in 2 groups? With explanation. Beryllium, what is the electronic quantification of beryllium? It is 2. It is 2. Wait, no. What is the atomic number? What is the element that is having atomic number of 2? That is the question I'm asking. What is the element that is having atomic number of 2? Yes, tuanzie hapo. It is helium. Are you together? Why? Now this helium, it can be found in group 8 or group 2. How is that possible? How is the helium found in group 8 and group 2? Remember, group 8 sote, they are stable. They do not gain, they do not lose. They cannot gain, they cannot lose. hence helium. Helium is the same, 8 2. Uandika ya calcium, it is 2 to 8 to 8 is to 2. So huku mwisho iko na 2. Helium iko na 2 hivi. So unaona pia ina qualify kwa group 2. Ukiangalia zile za group 8 sote, they do not change, they are very stable, and that's why helium is also stable. It can be found in those two groups. Before I move to something else, that was about periodic table. And let's come over to the periodic table. You can type it there. I will answer you. Now, before body of metals, inapatikana hapa katikati. Inapatikananga hapa katikati. Which name can you remember for now? Hapa katikati. There's some metals found there. What do we call them? What do we call them? Kuna venye network leo iko chini. Wiki. What do we call them? Hiyo nayo msipoandika sasa sijui tutafanya aje. Haidi amechipu. Haidi amesema it's called transitional elements. Malizia hiyo jina Haidi, andika transitional elements. Or it has another name, or yes, they're called transitional elements. Transitional elements. Transitional elements, or it can be called diplock elements. It can be called diplock elements. Are you together? Yes. Now, my question is characteristics of transitional elements ama diplock elements. Hiyo swali inaulizwanga mostly. What are the two characteristics of transitional elements ama diplock elements? That is why we are here. I will answer you right now. Ndio maana niko hapa nikufunze. Elements which are found in between, in the middle of the periodic table, they are called transitional elements. Examples of transitional elements: lead metal, Lead, lead, copper. Those two are the main examples of transitional elements. The main characteristics of transitional elements are they are colored metals. They are colored. Sitaki nifuta hapa kwanza mpaka tumazane na periodic table, but one thing you need to know is that they are colored. Number two, they have varied oxidation states, ama numbers. OS stands for oxidation states. They have varied oxidation numbers. Are you together? Between beryllium and boron, space ya nini is a space which, or your space, nimekopata. That space is for the, what do we call these metals? Transitional elements. Yes, I'm getting you now. Anybody with a question before we proceed? Yeah, it's good before we get to the next step. Before we proceed, as you are typing your question, you will allow me to talk what I want to talk about next. Next is RAM. RAM in full is relative atomic mass. And always relative atomic mass has no units. Why? Because it is a ratio. So when you calculate RAM, huwezi maliza kucalculate alafu useme ati useme sasa ati grams. No, you cannot say it that way. Z. Somebody is saying, do you teach biology? No. But next Tuesday, there will be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you will be taught biology because I will be out of the country. So you will tell me whom you want to teach you biology on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. For 3 days, tell me whom do you want to teach you those that subject when I will not be around. That person mwenye ameuliza Riri, I only teach chemistry and physics. Good. Pauline amesha jibu swali, amesema he teaches physics and chemistry. Now, let me the pH of the soil is determined. Very well. Si unataka kutafuta pH ya shamba, ya mchanga ya shamba. Ukifika hapa Limuru, those who are in Limuru, from Limuru town ukielekea a school called Loreto, on your right, kuna mahali imeandikwa daktari wa udongo. Imeandikwa, I think imeandikwa, there's something on your right ukienda hivi, beyond that swamp, kuna madaktari wanapimanga mchanga. After wamepima mchanga, they will tell you your land needs to be added this and this and this. Wanapima mchanga kwanza. Wachana na ile casework sisi tulikuwa nayo zamani. Unapanda shamba unaweka hii haifanyi vizuri. Next year unachange unaweka hii. We use a lot of casework. Now if you want to determine the pH of the soil, take the soil sample, you dissolve in water. You start, okay, of course it cannot dissolve, but you will still see. You just amount and you use what we call universal. You will get the pH of the soil. Ukishapata the pH of the soil, the doctor of the soil, unajua kuna daktari wa udongo. Ebu mtaniambia before the end of the lesson, daktari wa udongo ande tunani kwa English. The one who deals with udongo, mchanga yani, soil. Ande tuache kwa English, hiyo mtaniambia. So you get the soil pH using the universal indicator. Then daktari atakwambia kama ni kuongeza ama acidic. There is no problem when the soil is not acidic. There is a problem when the soil is acidic. Now, when the calcium oxide is called lime. So lime is meant to raise the soil pH. So if you ask, what is the role of lime in the farm to raise the soil pH? Are you together? Yes. That is it. That is it. Na mtaniambia nani ndiye atawafunza biology on Tuesday? Na Wednesday na Thursday. Somebody will be taking care of that. I will be in South Africa. Sasa inafaa na sitaki ofisi kae bila mtu, so but somebody will be there to teach you, but nyinyi ndio mtaniambia nimwambie my online students wants you to teach them biology on a given day. Mniambie tu nani. So differentiate between hii swali hata amesema difference between concentrated acid and strong acid. Ni mimi niliwaambia hiyo swali niliuliza, lakini hakuna mtu amewahi jibu. Wacha nijibu alafu tufike to calculate RAM. Difference between concentrated acid and strong acid. Listen, are you listening? Concentrated acid has high amount of hydrogen ions. Hivyo tu. Concentrated acid has high amount of hydrogen ions. Has high amount of hydrogen ions. Strong acid is the acid that can dissociate. Is the acid that can dissociate completely into hydrogen ions and the other negative ions. For example, kama ni HCl itakupatia hydrogen ions and chloride ions. Dissociates completely is a strong acid. This dissociation happens when it is placed in water. Lakini concentrated acid has high number of hydrogen ions. Acid can be concentrated but a very weak acid. Kama tunaelewana. Acid can be highly concentrated but a very weak acid. Get that one very clear. Aya. Can we now proceed? Ama kuna swali ingine? I hope hakuna swali ingine. Allow me to clean the board while I'm waiting to see whether there is any. Na kuna swali ndapeana. So kaeni chonjo. Kuna swali ndapeana. Na leo mtaniambia mnawatch mkiwa wapi? Watu wa Kiambu? Kuna mtu ako Nakuru? Kuna mtu ako Kisumu? Eldoret? Kitale? Mombasa? Garissa? Meru? Sawa. So I think now we can proceed. RAM. RAM. Relative atomic mass. Has no units. We are going to calculate one right now. Has no units. Why? Because it is a ratio. It's a ratio. I will tell Madam Jane. Yes. Alternative, in case Madam Jane ayuko, but I hope ako. I hope ako. Yes. I will also talk to Madam. Akuje afunze hiyo siku, so don't worry. Na mniambie pia topic gani. Okay, ataprepare mwenyewe topic yenye anataka. Sawa. So if you ask why RM do not have units, say because it is a ratio. Yes. Mrs. Cheke, yes. Watching from Pankwak, Uganda. Salome Museveni bas. How do we define RAM? It is the average mass of an atom of the element compared with that of carbon-12. So because it's a comparison, it cannot be, or it cannot have units. Kuna example nataka nione kama naweza nikapaste hapa kwa comment section. Good. Kuna swali nimepeana hapa kwa comment section. Nataka to calculate. Are you seeing that question? Kwa comment section. A chlorine, that 5, forms 75% of the total mass of chlorine. And chlorine, that 7, forms that 25%. Calculate the relative atomic mass of chlorine. Kuna wale wa Mr. Umwega. Sawa. But all of them will come. Mrs. Chege will come, or Mr. Umwega will come. Madam Jane will come. Yes. Kuna swali nimepeana hapo. Are you seeing that question? Heidi, are you seeing that question? Yes. Let's to Keta. So you see, 75% is for chlorine 35. Nataka tu twende pole pole. 75% is for chlorine 35. Riri, you can't see that question kwa chat box. Somebody to copy that question, I paste it tena kwa chat ndio Riri aone. Ama let me paste twice again. Riri. I hope now you can see that question. So 25% is for 37. So it's very simple. 35 times 75 over 100 plus 25 times 37 over 100. You will get you. Aya, iko hivi. 75 times 25 over 100 plus 25 times 37 over 100. Whatever you will get will be the RAM, relative atomic mass. Now, look here again. Hii is what I my girls, my students. I always tell them this way. After getting the answer, you will always know whether you are right or wrong. Why? Always, the relative atomic mass is close to the most abundant. The most abundant is the one that has taken the highest percentage. Why? You know, no, this one is 35. Hapa tuko na 25% na tuko na 75%. The most abundant ni gani? 75. Since imechukua 75%. Hii ingine imechukua how many percent? 25. So it's not the most abundant. After you calculate answer yako, your answer should be very close to 35. Of which napata watu wamepata 35.5. I'm not calculating. Hata sijatembea na calculator. Sijatembea na calculator. Si mnaona ni hivyo. Nataka nipeane example ingine ya 35.5. Wacha nipeane ingine. Check kwa if you're seeing a question in the comment section, please say yes. Ndio nijue as we are proceeding. Unajua sasa I'm pasting the question there. Let me read the question for the sake of those whose phones and tablets and laptops and computers don't have the chat section site. The question reads, an element 2, 24, and 25 with percentage abundance of 89.6, 6.4, and 4.0 respectively. Find element X. Haya, calculatini, I'm waiting for your answers. Taka tumalizane na hii alafu we learn how to write chemical formulas. We learn how to write chemical formulas. For the next 20 minutes, we learn how to write chemical formulas and chemical equations. Yeah. Riri anasema you are breaking. I think it's the network error issue nani Riri. Sawa. It can be the network. Respectively, umeambiwa 22, 24, then 25, alafu ukaambiwa respectively ya 89, 6.4 and 4.0. So hapa itakuwa 89.6, 6.4, 6.4 and 4.0. Hapa ni 4.0. So hii ni ya hii. Hivi, siko hivi. This is how it should be now. Hii ya chini ni percentage. Ya juu ni relative, okay, it's the mass abundance of each one of them. Haya, mimi nataka tu ni calculate, tuone which one is which one. So now, this is how it should go. Sema 89.6, 89.6 times 22 over 100. 6.4 times 24 over 100 plus 4.0 times 25 over 100. then get one answer uniweke hapa. Your answer should be close to this. Why? It is the most abundant one. Are you together? Yes. So you will get your answer. By the way, the answer is 22.25. Most of you have gotten it. Also, mwenye ataandika 22.248 ako correct because hacha round off. Especially in chemistry, they don't give you rules. Sio kama physics na maths, ati sijui 2 decimal place, 3 decimal place, 4 decimal place, z. Hii ukishapata ukiround off ni sawa, usipo round off still ni sawa. Lakini sasa sikia hapa. Mahali nitakwambia round off is somewhere. You can imagine umepata kitu kama let me first of all umepata kitu kama 71.4 kama RAM. Then unaulizwa which gas is it mostly likely to be having a molecular mass ya teanza umepata. Na wewe umepata 71.4. So a very normal person atajua chlorine molecule. So meaning this one has to be round off ikuje 71. Yes. Wacha nione kama kuna swali ya mwisho. Aya, niko na maswali mbili. Ndaweka hapo. Tutasifanya tu so. No, it's too big. It's too big. Wacha nichukue ingine. Kumbe comments inakuanga na nini na limit. Sawa, wacha nichukue swali lingine iko na less characters. I didn't know that comment can have a limit. Yes, hii swali sasa nimependa. Hii nayo nimependa. Hii swali nimependa. Hii nayo nimefurahia. Hata nyinyi mtafurahia. Kuna swali nimeweka hapo. The question reads, do you know why I'm reading? For the sake of those who will be watching later on when the live stream is over. So lazima wasikie hiyo swali ilikuwa inasema nini. The question goes, lithium has 2 isotopes with a mass number of 6 and 7. If the relative atomic mass of lithium is 6.94, determine the percentage abundance of each isotope. Hiyo nayo itabidi ucalculate. Hiyo siwezi nikawafanyia. Nataka nitembe tu hapa nikiwangojea mfanye hiyo swali. Nikiwapigia story. Hiyo mpaka nipewe answers ya watu wawili watatu. Unajua zamani sisi when we were waiting for our mothers to cook supper, maybe saa 2 saa 1 jioni, the mom is cooking and we all, you know, a grandmother was there, anakaa na sisi hapo. So akikaa na sisi tukingojea food hivi alikuwa anatupikianga story. Unajua zamani anatupatia narratives zingine. Unajua nini kulikuanga hivi, because as about tupikia story we shall sleep and mtoto afai kulala kama hajakula. That's why mimi siwezi nikapea mtu punishment ya kumnyima food, hapana. Lazima kila mtu afanye nini? Akule. Let's disagree, lakini kukula ni constant. Nikipika hii story uko una calculate. Nikikunywa maji pia uko una calculate. By the way, there was a time mineral water was for specific people. Are you seeing that question first of all? Pengine nawangojea na hakuna kitu mnafanya. Those who need exam, mmewekewa kitu hapo, you request for exam, I will deliver to where you are. Form 1, a complete exam cost 1200. It was 1500, lakini tumeipunguza ikuwe 1200. I mean, if you send me 1200, you will get you will get a complete set of exam, chemistry, physics, maths, everything. There are those who are leta na nyumbani. Form 2 and 3 and 4, if you want one set exam, it's just 1,000. You can either come to our offices in Limuru, or you tell me where you are, you just make the payments, we will send you the exams. I've been doing that, and it's a good thing. So I'm waiting for people to give us the answers. Beatrice anasema the answer is 6. Haya, haina shida. Daka answer ingine na ingine, alafu we now calculate on the board. Kwani ni Beatrice tu ako na calculator? Ninyi wengine mnataka kutumia nini kufanya, ama mtaki kufanya swali? And 94. 6 and 94. Sawa. Can I do it? Ama tuachane nayo? Nataka nione wenye wanataka tufanye na wenye hawataki tufanye, ndio nijue. Unajua saa zingine hakuna haja tu waste time kwa. Nataka nione wenye wanasema tufanye, na kuna wale hawataki tufanye. Let me do it. So hapa you are told that lithium has 2 isotopes, 6 and 7. If the relative atomic mass is 6.94, determine the percentage abundance of each. So kitu ya kwanza kenye inafaa ujue ni si tuko na ya 6 na tuko na ya 7. Na we don't know their relative abundance, but we the RAM tumeambiwa ni ngapi? What is the RAM? 6.94. So I will just do this. I will just say E equal X. Mpaka hapo kwanza tuko sawa? Yes. So what I will do here is I will say times 100 minus X over 100 should be equal to 0.06x. Upper we have to open the bracket. 700 minus 7x over 100. 94. Multiply with 100 kila mahali. So hapa I will have 6x plus iende hivi. So we are going to have 700 minus 7x to be equal to 694. Now you will get the value of x to be 6. Why? Minus 6x minus 7x unapata negative x. Awe inaonekana hapa chini? Ama nikaandika huko juu? So hapa ikue ukisema 6x minus 7x unapata negative x to be equal to 694 minus 700 unapata negative 6. So in short x is equal to 6%. So hii ikiwa 6, hiyo ingine ikue 94. Whereby when you add the two of them, you will get 100. But the question is this. E ya 94, our answer is 6.94. 6.94 is close to this. 6.94 is close to 7. So 94 ndio the most abundant. Hii ingine ikue 6. Mwingine atashangaa mbona hii ni 6% na hii ni 94%. Unashangaa how? Because our answer 6.94 is close to 7 than is close to 6. So the most abundant 94% is 7. I think we are doing well. Tumeelewana hapa vizuri. Yes. Now, let's look at what we call chemical formulas and chemical questions. Hatutamalizia leo because I will just today introduce. Lakini kesho ndo tutamalizia vizuri. Chemical formulas mingi, leo tu nataka tuandike 5 chemical formulas, 5 chemical equations. we end there. Tukutane kesho. Oh, kuna wenye Eunice Ndinda ameanza kazi ya form 2? Do we have Reiken Wahome in class? Confirm if you are there na uniambie kwa chat section kama your school Thika High form 1 washafanya kazi ya form 2. Okay. So kuna kitu inaitwa kuna vitu tatu hapa tunataka tuongelee. Chemical simple. Then we have chemical formula. Then we have chemical equation. Those three are very important. Ndaongelelea tu hizo, then tuandike 5 chemical equation formulas, then 5 chemical. Okay, hivyo tu, then we end the topic for today. I'm always trying to make it 1 hour so that those can, be able to go through it. Na usisahau, even if after tumemaliza live, kuna mtu aliniambia nilimiss lesson ya jana, sijui nikaambia no, don't worry. This is now the good thing about YouTube. Utamiss lesson lakini still bado utarecover. I'm not saying you miss. It is better when we are interacting together. Chemical symbol is used to symbolizes elements. Badala ushindie ukiandika hydrogen. Angalia hapa. Badala ushindie ukiandika hydrogen. Unaambiwa just write H. Badala ushindie ukiandika hydrogen molecule. Unaambiwa just write H2. Badala uandike oxygen, unaandika O. Na kama ni oxygen molecule ni O2. Badala ushinde ukiandika magnesium, unaandika tu capital M, small g. These are chemical symbols. For sulfur, unaandika tu S. Potassium, unaandika tu K. I mean, these ones we learn in Form 1, and everybody should be proud of them and being able to do them. Is kwenda kazi ya kusumbuana chemical symbols. Hiyo ni something very easy. There is this part called ion formation. There is a part called ion formation. Ion formation. By the way, I realized that there are some terms we need to define. Kila mtu chukua yako randomly, pick yours randomly, then define the following terms. Define valency. Valency. Define valence electrons. Sawa? Define ion together with atom. I know we have defined atom very many times, but for now it is necessary so that we can talk about the two. Oxidation state. Inaitwa pia oxidation number. Oxidation number. Just pick any and you define it. OS, oxidation state. It's also called oxidation number. Then charge. Oh, kuna ya mwisho, radical. There are very many terms, but for today, let's just define, or we just work with this for today. Then, tukimaliza na hizi, we check on something there kidogo. Pick yours and do it and define it. Valency, valence electrons, ion, atom, oxidation state, oxidation number, charge, radical. Just pick one, work on it. I'm sure when I'm talking, you have picked yours. And you are very busy defining it right now. Then you know easy. Itaangalia baadaye. In fact, let's do this to be very fair to you. We've now learned for 56 minutes. We are remaining with very few minutes. So in the 1 hour 1 hour 5 minutes, 1 hour 10 minutes, somewhere there. Mr. Nyongesa is in class and anasema create work. Mr. Nyongesa, can you greet these girls and boys who are in our lesson today? Greet them. Nyongesa, utakuja kuwafunza hesabu next week. Magdalene Buku anasema achana hata na form 2. Yeye ako grade 9. Ako CBC. Ni sawa. How is CBC, Magdalene? Next year I will be creating content for CBC. Ndakuwa nafunza CBC. Ndaomba vitabu za CBC nisome alafu nijue mnataka kufunzwa nini. Aya. So ion has been defined. And what about the other terms? There is no one defining them. Let me take water as I'm waiting for Kina Juliet, Kina Pauline Mokusu, Magdalene Mbukwa, Eunice Ndinda, Heidi. I may define ion, but you can still go ahead and define something else. Magdalene Mbukwa, usikuwa na shida ati uko CBC. CBC pia ni masomo tu. Don't worry about that. Let's define this. You know, if an element is not stable, if an atom, not the element, if an atom is not stable, it will either gain or lose electrons. So the number of electrons lost or the number of electrons gained for it to be stable is called the valency. The other definition of a valency is the combining power of an element. Valence electrons. Look at this. Look at sodium. Sodium, it is 281. Then chlorine. Chlorine is 2, 8, and 7. Now, for sodium, both the valency and the valence electrons are the same. The valency for sodium is 11. Sorry, hey, what am I saying now? Is 1. The valence electrons still 1. Valence electrons shows the number of electrons in the outermost energy level. So for sodium, it is 1. What about the number of electrons lost by sodium? Still 1. So for sodium, the valency and the valence electrons are the same, which is 1. Now for chlorine, 7 is the valence electrons, which is known as the outermost electrons. And what about valency for chlorine? It's only gaining 1. Chlorine is having a valency of 1, but the valence electrons are 7. Ion, look here, boys and girls. Sodium, nikiandika hivi, this is atom. Lakini nikiandika hivi, this is ion, and this is atom. So we all know, let me read one of the definition for one of you. Heidi saying the atom is the smallest particle of an element which can take part in a chemical change. Yes, that is now sodium. What about ion? Ion was defined by, who was that? Heidi. Heidi again. Oh, Heidi has done the two of them. Heidi said it's the charged particle formed when atoms gain or lose electrons. Thank you. So it may lose electron. It can lose electron in a form a positively charged ion. Now again, listen here. Another term is coming in, cation. A positively charged ion is called cation. Then we have anion. A negatively charged ion is known as anion. E for 2. Sawa sawa. So nimemalizana na hizo mbili. Atom nimemalizana nayo na ion. Oxidation number. Haya. Si mtu aniambie, kuna mtu ameniambia, Juliet amesema oxidation number refers to the elements react by either gaining or losing electrons by which they are said to acquire new state ahead. Sawa, I will talk about that. Oxidation number from Heidi is saying that the number of electrons which have been removed added to get its present state. Your definition in numerator is so close to the sawa. Now, someone else to define a charge. Are you together? And someone else to define a radical. I'm giving a minute. Ebu mniambie, let me write here something. Ndio mniambie, we agree once and for all. Which element do you love? Let me talk with magnesium. Magnesium, nikiandika plus 2 na 2 plus. Between plus 2 and 2 plus, which one is the charge? Which one is the oxidation number? Yeah. Which one is the charge? Which one is the oxidation number? Mniambie? Ndinda yeah, I think nilikuwa nimesoma ya Ndinda. Hebu mnijibu. Kani ni charge, kani ni oxidation number? Na wangojea mniambie hapa ndio tumalizane na hii. I'm waiting for you. By the way, we are ending the lesson in the next 5 minutes or less. Good. I was just waiting for one comment. Na Heidi amemaliza. This is and this is the charge. Good. Someone to define the term radical. Someone to define for me the term radical. Then I give examples of radicals and we end the lesson. Tukutane kesho at the same time, 3 to 4. Radical. Ndio tumalize na 20. Your typing speed can save us if you can type very fast. Ndaga tuone examples of radicals after you have kuna mtu amesema I already did. Let me search. Gani? Heidi, radical ni gani? So maybe you ilinipiga si kuona mkidivine. But allow me to say that radical refers to groups of atoms with a net charge. Yeah, the keyword is with a net charge that exists and react as a unit during chemical reactions. Now, nataka niwape examples of radicals so that you can know. Kesho tutakuja kutumia, andika hizi mahali. Kesho tutakuja kutumia. I'm tired standing. I'm from standing again since morning. I was giving a talk somewhere, so nimekuwa nimechoka. Lakini nataka nimalizie kwa kupeana radicals. Radicals have valencies, by the way. Nataka tuanze na radicals with a valency of 1, followed by radicals with a valency of 2, and followed with the radicals with a valency of 3. Are you ready? Yes. With a valency of 1, nataka niwape like 5 ama 4. Ammonium ion. It is written as ammonium ion. This is called ammonium ion. Are you together? We have hydroxide ion. Hydroxide ion. We have nitrate. We have nitrate ion. Sawa sawa. Then we have hydrogen carbonate, HCO3. Hii kenye nimeandika hapa ndio valency. So unaona nimeweka tu dash moja, si ati two dash hapana. So hydrogen carbonate. Then we have hydrogen sulfate. Sulfate and sulfite, all of them. Even hydrogen sulfite, all of them have a valency of 1. Twende and you can have valency of 2. With valency of 2. The key one here is carbonate. Okay, 2 minus. So that's carbonate. Then we have sulfate. Then we have the cousin to sulfate is sulfite. You see the difference in sulfate, in sulfite. The difference is the number of oxygen atoms. See, equal 4, equal 3. Now, kuna ingine hapa, I will still add one more here, but before that, kuna ingine pale iko na valency ya 3. Inakuanga tu peke yake, inatembeanga tu kivyake. Inaitwa phosphate. Now, hii phosphate na ileta hapa iko hydrogen phosphate. Inakuwa 2 negative. So unaona fanya, that is how it is. Kuna mtu akona swali? I want to end there for today. I want to end there for today, and I want to make I want to make the following announcements. First is I always say that if you are in need of exams, there's someone from Kiambu. Leo nimekuwa Kiambu lakini nimesahau kumpelekea mtihani. I forgot to call that young man. My number is there. You can see it's projected on the screen. 0740 61 9025. That is my my office number. Then we have 0796 26 24 71. That is my personal number. What I'm saying is this. You simply request for papers. We don't give marking schemes except for CBC. But for senior secondary, we don't, because my aim is to make you acquire content. Giving you marking scheme hiyo ni kukubembeleza. Nataka nikupie karatasi ya physics ama chemistry ama maths. You go and sit down with other guys. Make a good marking scheme. Tafuta mwalimu wa maths around your school. But mostly tunasemanga pia unaweza niletea hapa Limuru. I mark it for you. Nikurudishie karatasi yako. So don't worry. Talk to us using that number. I want to sign out by saying, may God bless you. We thank you. We are so grateful for always following Ambassador Speaks channel. Keep on following us.